Hello, beautiful, vibrant souls. We are joining together today to pull some cards for the collective. I'm going to do just some oracle cards today. I think my deck has asked me to retire. I've never had that feeling from a deck before. And I have a deck that's over 30 years old. I've been using regularly for that long. And just curious, have you ever had a deck asked to retire? I feel like there's probably a reason for it. I do have a number of other decks I've been slowly working with, and I think that maybe the messages from those decks are going to be a little bit deeper and provide me with some more insight. So I'm kind of curious. I'm just curious if anyone has had that experience before. It's my first time having a deck. It just feels like it doesn't want me to work with it anymore, at least not on a daily basis. So we're going to put it aside and give it a break. And I'm going to familiarize myself with one of my other new decks, and we'll pick up using that one next time. I love my Oracle decks as well, so we're going to work with these today. Telepathy, transmission, perception, and communication. And surrender. I can release my need to control. Oh, I love these decks. I do. I have some decks that I call spicy, and they give me some real hard love sometimes. And my oldest deck is my ritual deck, and I leave that deck on my altar, and it's only used in divination for when I'm doing ritual and spell work because that's what it felt like it wanted me to do. So I put that deck there, and that's where it's remained. And I inquired with it today when I was redoing my altar, which is nice and fresh for the upcoming season. And it was clear and it was comfortable where it was at, and everything seemed right with that. And then I went to go grab the deck to work today, and it threw itself all over the floor. And then I was picking it up, it was like, enough. And I was like, man, I wonder if I'm using this deck as a crutch because I've used it for so long, and I really need to work with some of my new decks. So I'll introduce my new decks when the time is right. But I think it's important that we trust our instincts. You know, that some people would look at me and go, "What? Your deck said what? Your first of all, some cards said, huh?" I've had trees communicate with me, okay? And rocks and flowers and animals a lot of time. Um, when I was a child, I remember having a conversation with uh, a neighbor. It was a new neighbor, and we were having this conversation. And I remember thinking to myself that what that person was saying was not true. That they were lying, and their words were coming out of their mouth, and they looked like they had flames on them. And I'm very young at this point, and I was just like, it's not right to lie. And my mother's like, oh my gosh, she just has no filter. She just doesn't have a filter. But I was just like, it isn't. And and I was like, I wasn't even saying it in like a bad way, like accusing them like you're lying. It was just like it's not right to lie. Now, I don't want to get into the depth of lying in my life because we would be here for a very long time. But I will say that we found out later that that individual was telling us a whole story, and they ended up being a scam artist that got caught by the feds doing some interstate crime and served over 15 years. And it was just less than 2 years later that this happened, and their house was raided and all this stuff. So it doesn't matter if it's silly. It doesn't matter. If something pops into your mind, let's stop scrutinizing these messages that come to us. Trust them. At the very least, it's not going to hurt you to just hold that little nugget in the back of your mind and go, let's just give it a minute and see what happens. Let's just see. Because where did it come from? You don't know. You don't have the answer. Now, I can give you a whole lot of things that you can look into and practice and try that will give you some more insight as to where they're coming from, and who your guides are, and how do you meet your guides, and how do you hone these messages, and how do you know if it's just invasive thinking, or or messages and intuition and things of that nature. There's all kinds of things that we can do, and just as well you could do some research on your own and find this information out. But the first thing that I'm going to tell you is stop questioning it. Whatever comes to you, just stop questioning it. Don't question it. Just hold it there. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the information. I think that's probably the best advice that I can give you. Is when something pops into your head like that, and there's no reason for you to go, that's very not true. Say thank you. Thank you for that information. I'm gonna hold on to that. Now, in my case, clearly, I want to wonder about this deck. Why is this deck? But it doesn't matter why it's asking me to put it aside. It's in my best interest to listen to it, first of all, and they're just cards, so there's no real consequences. It's not like it's saying, go into this abandoned home or something, and that could put me at risk. It's simply a thing that I don't need to know the answer to. And there's a lot of times that we don't need to know the answer to what's next or why this is. You may never find out what happened to that person that disappeared out of your life. You may never know why that person ghosted you. You may never know why that person turned on you and all of a sudden was not your friend. You don't know what was going on in their life then, and maybe you'll never know. And it's not going to make a difference going forward. The universe works sometimes behind the scenes to protect us from too much information, too much processing, too many things that aren't really relevant to our path, but they clear the way for your path. They open it up. So when you get these ideas, don't go into this Walmart. Go to this store instead. Don't talk to this person. There's something weird about this person. Or at least don't give them too much information. Be polite and cordial, and that's all you need to do. Don't tell them things. Do you need to know why? Or can you just trust that you feel that for a reason? This is about trusting those feelings, trusting these guides, trusting the messages that come to us. You can't possibly process all the reasons why that might be. And for some of us, it's probably in our best interest and for the sake of our mental health that we don't. So I don't know why this deck doesn't want me to work with it anymore, at least in regards to this work that I'm doing. But I'm going to honor its wishes because I feel like there's got to be a reason for it, and I'm going to figure out what that reason is in terms of what's best for me and in terms of what going forward in my path. But the rest of it, I don't need to know. I only need to know, and I've only asked to know, and I'm only grateful to know what is meant for me to know. So that's the message from these two cards for today. The interesting combination as well. This is our double mission card, Lightworker Starseed, serving the world by being you, and healing chaos. I've had this card come up in some readings recently. The idea that too much information, too many things going on complicates our path, our mission, our goals. When we try to take on too much, when we allow things to become bigger than they need to be, sometimes the easiest way to address your healing is to break it up into pieces. Sometimes it is to just simply remove some areas that are problematic. Um, if you feel as though, I just got the Hermit card in my mind, if you feel as though you need to pull away and give space to be by yourself, do that. You don't have to go out and be social if it doesn't feel right. Now, if you're using that to run away from potential interactions with people, then that would be a cause to address the situation. That would be something that we want to look at head on. But getting for most of us that we're just simply trying to do too much. There's just so much out there. It's so complicated. And sometimes we cannot even see what the very tiny little triggers and the little areas that we need to work on are because there's just bigger issues. I'm getting for some of you, you're in a relationship that feels controlling and overwhelming, and it's like they're so interwoven in your life. We're not even talking about just romantic, but they're so interwoven into your life that it's hard to distinguish your own thoughts and feelings about things from theirs. But there's something in there where it keeps causing conflict, or it keeps triggering you, and there's these, you can't quite identify what that is. So I'm getting some of these things are actually very simple, but because there's so much distraction and there's so much outside going on, that you're not seeing the very simple part of it. That there's a need to disconnect and be quiet just for a minute and see what is it that's speaking to me, just to me. Now, you being authentic and genuine and being true to yourself and being honest with yourself about how you feel, and the people around you will result in some changes occurring, that there are some people that will reveal themselves as being there for a purpose, and nobody should be in your life for we're talking about these types of purposes that are like um, one-sided. Everyone in your life should be mutually adding to while you add to their life. And so by you choosing yourself, you're going to reveal some of these individuals who are in it just for an imbalanced purpose. They're not actually contributing in the right ways to your life, or they're not contributing at all to your life. Like, these are the people that just never seem to show up when you need them. They never answer the phone. They never, have help to offer, or they only turn it into a situation where they want to commiserate about their own issues. Um, you have a a type of energy that draws people to you because of the work that you've done, because of how authentic and genuine you are, and how open you are and loving you are. Sometimes people are drawn to you for different reasons. I don't want to say for the wrong reasons, but for different reasons than the same intention that you have. They are seeking someone else to fix them, and they see you as a healing individual, and they see others inspired by you and doing the work, and they say, well, just being in the proximity of this person, then this person will fix me. That's not how it works. And then you end up you want to help them, so you start doing the work, and you're like, really, like, they're not changing. Nothing's fixing them. No, because they're not there to do the work. They're there for you to do the work for them. And they love to put on a good show about how they're on this healing journey as well, but nothing ever changes for them. They keep making the same choices. They do things. They're the ones that say, yes, I cut that person off. And then next thing you know, they're talking to that person again. You're like, well, I thought you cut them off. Well, I did, but, and their ego and their desires got in front of them, and they made the choice to continue talking to the person that was hurting them. And then the same situation occurs again, and they go, well, and it's like, oh, no, baby. You draw these people in because you're doing great work. And the people that belong in your circle that keep things easy for you to continue doing that work, to calm that chaos, will reveal themselves when you step back and you say, I need my space because I need to focus on me. They're the ones that you will see are codependent. So we want to watch for those individuals. They're making things a little bit chaotic. You on your own doing your work, you're a beautiful, inspirational soul, and you are a magnet. You are a magnet for all kinds of people. And I assure you, most of the people in your circle are good people, but seems like some of us have attracted a few that are not necessarily on the same path we are. That's okay. We'll fix it. Ooh, I like these. I've not pulled these ones in a long time, and I love that. Okay, let's get into this. Transformation is beautiful. It's also messy. It's messy. And we have our rabbit spirit. Now is a lucky time. So it feels like there is a lot of change here for a lot of us. The collective reading energy is coming through really powerful in this. We're making changes and we're not apologizing for it. We've maybe fell into some patterns that we've fallen into before, and we went, whoa, 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 stop. No, we're not going back down that road. Nope, we're not doing that. The changes that you have made you almost unrecognizable to others. And this is an incredible thing because the people that really know you see you for who you are now, and they are just blown away by that, and they are so inspired by that. And the people that don't recognize you anymore never really saw who you really were. They never saw that caterpillar and went, but that caterpillar has potential, because you did the whole time. You had potential the whole time. And some people just saw a caterpillar and went, caterpillars. And other people said, ooh, I know what happens to caterpillars. They become beautiful butterflies. I want to see this. I'm going to stick around. I'm going to watch. I don't need to be all up in the face or in the process of it, but they were watching the whole time. I'm getting that they were observing, and now they're ready to come forward and show you what they can add to your life. That there's some opportunity coming forward, and they thought, I know who is perfect for this situation. This is the person that I want to take the lead in this. This is the person that I want to step up. This is a person I can trust and believe in, that they're not going to fail. They're going to keep going forward. They've already done this work. They've already proven it to me. And something really beautiful transpired because of that energy that you were putting out, and all these opportunities now exist. And there were people that were sitting in the back the whole time cheering you on. You didn't even hear them. But now they have their eye on you. They told somebody about you. They said something to somebody. And a position opened up. A house went up for sale, an apartment. They thought of you because they knew that you would be the person that could do the most with it, that you had the potential to do even more with what you were being given this time. They already saw you work magic with practically nothing. And they were like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see what they do next. So there's some really great opportunities opening up. Things are going to be presenting themselves to you because of the work that you've done. You are not recognizable to people that didn't ever see your potential within you. So you don't have to worry about these not being genuine opportunities. These are the real ones we were doing the work for. These are the real ones we were waiting for. It's really powerful energy coming through here. So I want you to look at this opportunity as being able to really truly spread your wings. Now you know what to do with all this, and you know what you're capable of. So you're going to take it even farther now. You're going to do even more. Now you're going to show everybody what you're really made of. So really good stuff coming through these cards today. Maybe the deck was telling me the right thing and not work with it today. We're getting some really positive, powerful imagery. And I'm so grateful that you join with me on this healing journey. It means so much to me that you tune in and share these messages with me and use them to guide you in your life going forward. If there's ever anything that you need in terms of clarity for your own life, I also do personal readings on a sliding scale. So please reach out if that resonates with you and you're looking for some personal guidance. And thank you for joining with me. We'll see you next time.